there is a great video online which I want all of you to watch. It's a pretty boring presentation and it doesn't get interesting until about 25 minutes. Well, there's just a lot of chat beforehand, and then once you skip to about the 25-minute mark, it gets to the point going stuff. So what I'll do is I'll put a link down to it before, and it's talking about the state of the camera industry and why digital SLR sales have massively plummeted. So the first 25 minutes is talking about, is this actually happening? Is it actually real and all that kind of stuff? And then he's showing, yes, there is a catastrophic event which is happening, which is causing digital SLR sales to massively plummet, seriously. It doesn't necessarily differentiate like micro four thirds cameras or full frame cameras, just saying digital SLRs. And anyway, just to kind of paraphrase it, before you go, like I would say, definitely after you've watched this video, go and watch the in-depth video that is linked down below. But he's saying the reason, since about 2011, camera sales have massively plummeted because, and he kind of says it's because Apple brought out something which made taking photos easy. Right, okay, was it 2011? I'm sure Apple iPhones and all that stuff have been around for a long time, that it could take good enough photos. But there's a few points which I totally agree with. It's like nowadays, nobody reads the manual. Everything is meant to be so user-friendly and so intuitively, or to be used so intuitively, that you shouldn't be needing to dig through menus after menus after menus, or manuals or product descriptions and all that kind of stuff. And you should be able to just pick something up. The fact that you can give a 4-year-old an iPad and within a minute they kind of go, I know what I want, I know I can take a photo, and they're just like, that is the level of simplicity that the general masses of people want to have. So in the past, for the years leading up to this, people wanted, I want a better camera, I want this, I want more features, I want more functions. Now, people still want all that, but they want it so it's incredibly easy to use. And I would say I'm a victim of this myself. I've said this a few times where I've bought a camera, brand new camera, and I, as a professional photographer and like a camera reviewer, and had tens of cameras in my time, with lots of different operating systems and all that kind of stuff, if I'm still picking up a digital SLR and being completely confused about how to set a menu setting, set a button parameter, or do all this kind of stuff. Recently with the D750, I was like, I cannot seem to get video to work, or this kind of thing. And it's at page 342 of the menu settings before I found out, oh, there's another menu setting, another sub-menu setting where I need to make a different change which will affect a certain period of time, which is different from others. You're like, holy crap, that is just insanely difficult and pointless. And in a society or in a culture where ease of use and the ability to just pick something up and use it is far more important than, or far more appreciated than having 15,000 different menu settings. And they said one of the great points is that, you know, you look at the Apple iPhone, it's got one button. You look at the Nikon DF which came out, which was, oh, we're so retro, we are simplicity, we take our time to take a simple photo. And it ended up having 5 different rotational dials, 15 different buttons, and again 65 menu settings. You kind of go, that wasn't simplicity. You know, if you talk about the olden days of film cameras, where it was shutter, and then aperture, and then you didn't even need to change your ISO because that was part of your film. That was simplicity. Nothing like what it is nowadays. And so what he's saying is, like, it's not necessarily a complaint about the camera industry, but it is an idea that this is why the sales of modern day digital SLRs, people look at them and go, oh, too complicated. And I know what this feels like, because I am trying to teach somebody who's not that interested in taking photos or taking good photos, and trying to kind of go into depth about the difference of ISO speeds and dynamic range, and how color depth is reduced whenever you increase the ISO, and the ISO degrades the quality with noise, and you've got color noise, and you've got luminance noise and color noise, And then try to say, right, okay, if we're wanting to increase the depth of field, we need to change the aperture, but when we change the aperture, we also, you know, like the amount of information to teach somebody who's not interested or not, you know, like, I totally want to learn everything about this, is near on impossible. Trying to show somebody how to take a photo with an iPhone, you can show it in under 20 seconds. Turn it on, select that button, this is what you do, press that. If you want to do a panorama, swipe this way, done that. There's everything you need to do. And if you want to do an HDR, press HDR, take a photo, done. That's the simplicity which is required for the masses. So what this isn't for like, oh, you should be expecting easy as pie pieces of simple stuff to use. No, this is just talking about in reference to the general camera market and why the sales have massively dropped. So that I think that's me paraphrasing it in about 6 minutes. The original video was 45 minutes. But I also wonder, is there a way where you can implement that back into digital SLR sales? And what I would say is that I am certainly loving the Wi-Fi apps, and to be able to use a camera with multiple options and multiple settings and multiple dials and switches and buttons. If I can use that all from my iPhone, so you're integrating the simplicity of your iPhone, or what I use as an iPod. If you can integrate the simplicity of an iPod with the complexity, but yet the quality that you get with something like a digital SLR, that is definitely the way forward in terms of market share, is what I think. That's what I think at the moment. But so any camera that's coming out which doesn't have Wi-Fi, I'm like, oh, that's pretty useless. Or is Wi-Fi app is shit. Oh, that's the problem with the Nikon D750. Or maybe it's just Nikon in general. I got the Nikon D750, I was like, Wi-Fi, brilliant, okay, let's see what we use here. And the image app that you get from Nikon was sluggish, it was glitchy, and it only had 2 settings. Wait, okay, that's confusing. I'm complaining that it only had 2 settings, even though I'm talking about you want it to be as simple as possible. But the fact is, it was like take a photo or look at a photo. It was that you couldn't do anything with it. That was the problem. So yeah, the Nikon image app, for a company which is worth billions of pounds or dollars or yen or whatever it is, I just think you could have made something better there. So yeah, that's just my little thoughts there, is that I think the camera industry definitely need to integrate more with mobile to increase their sales. Not necessarily to be better, but to increase their market share. And I think any camera company which isn't really getting involved with the mobile side of image taking is massively stabbing themselves in the foot. Is that a phrase? Stabbing themselves in the foot? Kicking themselves in the face? I don't know. But they're not doing what's best for themselves. That's just my thoughts. Be interested to hear yours. Cheers, bye-bye.